ACLU, Trevor Noah, Trump, say hello to my little bitch. Hey there, Mama B here. Thank you for joining me on my channel, Non-Polarity. I am happy you're here. Thank you for being here. First thing, I want to thank Finn Wraith for your weighing in. Great point. If you take a look at his comments, awesome. White advantage is based on majority. This is why I wanted to get into that thinking of white privilege, because it took me 20 minutes to come out with that, with what I said last time, because I had to think really hard, because that's not how I normally think. I don't normally think about white privilege. I don't normally think about skin color as any kind of measure of a person. So it takes a while for me to think about that, but people obviously are thinking that because a lot of people are talking about it. So I'm trying to think it through. So let's go on this journey together, shall we? Okay, so I believe, my perspective, that the white advantage based on majority is just take the white out. Okay, I get you want to use color. Okay, good point. You have 20 yellow data points. You have red data points. 10 red data points, so 20 yellow and 10 red data points, and your goal is to win. It's like, what color wins? Okay, so yellow wins. All right, fair, good point, fair observation, very logical. But I don't believe it is a color advantage. It's majority privilege. It's not color, it's the majority privilege, and it doesn't need to be there if we don't look at color. I don't know. Okay, so these are things I'm thinking out to you, because I don't get it, and I'm trying to, because I want to understand you, because I love you very, very much. Next point, and again, thank you, Finn Wraith. That was awesome. Brad Woodard, very kind words. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here to make your comments. Beautiful point. Listen to our Black friends. Absolutely. I mean, if you're someone who wants to understand and doesn't understand what our Black Americans are going through, absolutely, do that. That's why, again, I had a hard time, because I don't think about my Black friends as being Black. They're my friends. Again, oh well, okay, so she's choosing to ignore the color. Yeah, okay, and that was the point that I was trying to make about that hesitation. If you're not familiar, if you recall from my last video, if you're not familiar with something, you hesitate because you fear the unknown. Thing is, I don't fear somebody who is a different color. That doesn't do shit for my assessment of that person. It's hard for me to think that way, but I try because I want to understand you. So yes, sitting listening to your Black friends. So I grew up with, if there was a part in my video last time, I talked about growing up with people, so that when I hesitate, I go immediately towards understanding. If I see someone of a different color, again, I'm not looking at the color. I look at them to see, like, do I know that dude or that woman or that person? Do I know that person? And then if I don't know them, I still hesitate, because I think, okay, well, all right, so what's up? And I smile. I love people. That's sort of my Achilles heel. I love people. So I tend to love a person first, and I wait for them to disappoint me later. It hurts to go about it that way, but I think we need that. I think we need that, personally. So, grew up in a inner city, went to school in a city, not a big city, not like New York, Philly, Dallas, not like big city, but it was like a little city, suburb city sort of. I'm sorry, little city outside of a large city. And I lived in a suburb, went to school in a city, and beautiful mixed variety of people. So remember, I talked about developing the moral compass. Color, talking different, looking different. That was thrown at me right away, and I didn't really, it didn't do anything for my right and wrong and who that person is danger, whatever. That was my classmate. That was my friend. That was my neighbor. They were awesome to play with. Yeah, I don't know. The color thing kind of became more apparent to me, I think, in college. It took me that long. Call me a ditz, I don't know. And also, went to school, you know, we had bars on the windows, you know, saw sunshine through the bars on the windows. So been there, done that. It was funny though, I thought the bars were to keep us in. My big brother is the one who had to tell me, you idiot, that's to keep people from breaking the window. And I was like, oh, okay. Again, call me ditz, you know. Yeah, so again, trying to understand that particular bias is hard for me, but it's a thing. People are talking about it, so I want to understand. You know, I don't want to contribute to the pain, so I want to understand. I want to be careful about what I say and how I say it in specific contexts and situations, because I'm going to say some things that aren't so nice. It's because I love these people because they're Americans. I love America. I speak here on my channel Non-Polarity for the peaceful. I speak for the center. I speak for those who want to be heard. You know, if you want me to talk about something, I'm here for you. And even if it's something I don't necessarily agree with, it's okay to disagree. Don't ever give up on your point because somebody's trying to intimidate you on it. If you have good points to make your points. You know, and try to not be, you know, so that's someone who's shy. You know, but then on the other side of it, you know, make your point, but try to not be too abrasive, you know. And that's hard because sometimes you gotta be abrasive and sometimes you should be more gentle. You gotta kind of assess the scenario. I'm not always really good at that. But there's times when you need to speak. And I could certainly not say anything. I'm a private person. Putting my face on here is not comfortable. My pants are sweaty. I'm very sweaty right now. Don't like this. This is not my thing, my friends. So I had to think about, with everything going on, just a high level of hate. I do not like hate. I hate hate. That's the only thing I hate. So I felt that not saying something, you know, when you take a risk, take a calculated risk. Think about that way, you know, the consequences of what you're about to do. And I feel that the risk of not saying anything at this point does more harm than saying something, you know? So I take that risk. I'm taking it for you guys because I've become I have been too complacent. So I'm not doing that anymore, okay? I'm not doing it. All right, so this is a little call to center. All right, I'm going to call some people out. I do this in love. It may feel a little abrasive, but I do this in love. If we want to make a difference, if we want to hold ourselves accountable, we have to hold each other accountable. You know, you're welcome to call me out. If I do something that you don't think follows a good moral compass, call me out. Do it. In turn, I'm going to call you out. It's only fair, right? Okay. So, Trevor Noah, I love you, sweetheart. You're awesome. We need your fresh African-American point of view. You know, it's great. It was especially refreshing after, you know, President Trump was elected because that was a very hard time. I bawled my eyes out when he was elected. I was also pregnant, so it was not fair. It was hard seeing my friends and hearing stories about them trying to go to restaurants and having people harass them and tell them they can't go in and they need to go back where they came from. That was really hard to hear, hard to see the pain. And also hard to see people get nasty, beautiful people, intelligent people, get nasty to each other about, you know, they would find videos of random nasty violence on the internet and share it and say, we can't have this in our country. You know, there is some nasty stuff out there. Yes, it's been there. Okay, that's the point. That's why we need to work and protect our democracy together. This is a family. Families are dysfunctional. Families are not balanced. They are polar. Things happen. But you have to constantly work on your center, and you have to stick together. So, Trevor Noah, buddy, love you. I came across your video about where are the good apples. It's a really good point, because I think about the same thing, because there are good apples. You made beautiful points about that. What comes into question for me is about minute 337. Quote, "The system is more powerful than any individual." It's kind of a pussy statement. Dude, come on. That's a great way to demotivate people in this country for change. Don't you want things to change? I mean, it's kind of contradicting the point. So I'm an individual. You're an individual. She's an individual. He's an individual. They're an individual. System's too powerful for us to change it. Poor woe-is us. What are we to do? Okay, no. It's a pussy thing to say. I'm sorry. I can't agree with it. It's wrong. Basic moral compass, wrong. And it's not, and again, I say that, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just trying to set you straight, okay? And the other point, I kind of get where this came from, because I got an email from the ACLU that was very disappointing this week. Around minute 347, you say, "The police system is intended to keep poor people in their place." Love you, buddy, but whatever you were smoking before you said that, just put it down. Put it down, don't touch it for a while, you know? It's either that or, I don't know if you just weren't thinking, to keep our police system here is intended to keep poor people in their place. Have you been out there lately? Do you think that little fire, I'm joking, it's freaking huge right now. Do you think that fire needs any gasoline right now? Do you think we need to throw any more shit on that? No, we don't. And if you need to get anybody fired up, that's not going to do anything for anybody. Just get people pissed off and resist arrest and get hurt and killed again. It doesn't make sense to say something like that. If you want good to happen, people are going to be afraid of police. That's the problem already. That is already the problem. We want to fix that. This is not an easy to fix problem. There are corrupt people in every profession. There are people who get greedy, and they want to hold on to whatever power they have. You know, maybe they weren't empowered at some point in their life and they finally got it and they're going to hold on to it. I've seen this. They want to hold on to it. They become assholes, you know, and sometimes really good at portraying themselves as good people. But, you know, a lot of us, especially if we've been through that, we can sniff out the bullshit. So I still think we need to do that. I'm not saying that we should not be sniffing out the bad guys. We need to get those bad apples out. Sometimes it's a tree. Get that tree out. But we need that orchard. It's beautiful. It's feeding us. It's taking care of us. Because I know good police officers, family and friends, they're good people. They're the good apples. You want to know where they are, Trevor? They're a little busy. They're a little busy cleaning up the mess that the white supremacists and people who listen to comments like that are doing out there. They're busy, okay? They don't have time to tell their buddies, you know, we need to straighten up when they're busy doing that, cleaning up that mess. You're absolutely right, though, about this bystander effect that's happening. I do agree, absolutely do agree, that when you're standing there and you feel that something is wrong in your police officer, and you see that a person's life is about to be taken away, a bystander effect is something common that we do when we fear retaliation. We expect someone else to step in. And this is where we have to be brave. Good people, peaceful people, people who want peace, love. They want that American dream. We have to start speaking up. We have to start stepping in. Just say something. Say something, at least. Dude, your knees on him a little tight. Back off a little bit. You know, just, hey, dude, you okay? You know, talk to the person. I don't, just do something. I agree. Absolutely. And I agree we need to take a closer look at our police forces. Absolutely. But stop saying stupid shit like that, okay? Our lives are a lot easier to actually make something good happen here. I mean, ACLU, why do I want to call you out? So I supported you, enlisted your aid to take care of that speaking up when it became very obvious of this polarity of the white extreme people that just had this really weird obsession with people that looked different or sounded different, or it was weird. It's weird to me. And that's why I talked about the bias in the last video, because that shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. And I was disturbed by that, so I enlisted the ACLU. But I was complacent. I was trusting that they were doing their job. But I get emails like this with regard to Dante Wright's killing. It's heinous. It's ridiculous. As a police officer, you should know which weapon is which. Absolutely. But this part, Black people in America are constantly at risk at state-sponsored violence and death. Police still exist to uphold white supremacy and have been empowered by laws in the courts to inject themselves in Black life for any reason, no matter how minor, even expired registrations. That's some bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. I'm sorry. I love you. I love what you're doing. But again, whatever you were smoking when you put this together, and your supervisor too, they're held responsible. You wanna talk about keeping any institution in line. Take care of yourself too. Truly. This is bull. Poorly thought out. Again, you're part of the problem. If you can't see that, you're either an idiot or you're fucking high. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. And I'm sorry to curse. I mean, it's frustrating. Because people are dying out there. And the first thing you think to do is, well, let's just say something to piss them off some more. Let's make people more afraid when they get pulled over by a police officer. Uphold white supremacy. Come on. Really? Or they're going, yeah, really? Yeah, okay. All right, that's how you're thinking, fine. Okay, you agree to disagree. If you're really that strong about that, let's talk. Okay, let's figure out what the heck happened in your life that you feel like that's a thing. Okay? And I mean in the police force. I agree with you that there are people who are extreme, who think that someone who has a white skin is supreme. Well, guess what? There's Black albinos. Their parents are Black, but they're white with Black features. Gorgeous people. They suddenly part of your team? I mean, how does that rule work? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand white supremacy too. I want everyone to work together. I don't want to diss people, you know, just for the release of my frustration. I'm speaking from love. And I got to finish with, I got to call out President Donald J. Trump, former President Donald J. Trump. So, you know, sometimes it's like, it's hard for me to say this, but you've done some good things, you know. I have a lot of friends who are Trump supporters too, so I've had to think about this. I've had to work this out. I'm not really a fan of his, you know, I'll admit that. But I love my friends who support him, and they support him for specific reasons. And so, for example, this voting concern, that always needed to be looked at. Thank you for throwing up a fuss. That needed work, absolutely. But saying things like to the white supremacists, stand ready, you know, not, you know what you're doing is wrong. With all the stuff, the tough stuff that you were out there saying, like, I am the bulldog, you know, I'm the tough guy, and you don't have the balls to point out the white supremacists on their amorality, I mean, come on, like that was the one thing you were good at, was calling people out, you know, and that's what people liked about you. You know, that's that shakeup we were sort of hoping for. I didn't vote for him, but you know, when I say we, I say, you know, my family and friends who supported Trump. But I was complacent. I got off Facebook. I was frustrated. I was in pain because so many people were getting hurt. But the way you talked, and words shouldn't have that much power, but they do when you're in a position of power, which means you have to take responsibility for what your words do. Tough shit. You're president. You're responsible. Okay? It's not fair that people attacked you constantly. That was probably not a good choice because then you were exhausted and really to get a whole lot of thinking in, probably. I'm assuming you think. I do. Hey, look, I want to love everybody here. Okay? So I became complacent. I got off of social media. I wanted to be in the real world. And I'll tell you, it's definitely more beautiful in the real world. We need to get off social media, be in the real world, come back to social media, share what we see, what we experience, what we learn, what's sort of reshaped our perspective a little bit maybe. But I became complacent. And now, you know, I have a family member in jail over this, over storming the Capitol, you know, and hopefully you see this. I can't read you because you're in jail now. Not that you're the first person who's been in jail, but this is hard because our family, you know, is not handling this well because, you know, we're very open-minded people. We love everybody. We have opinionated people in our family on all sides of that polar, that, you know, right and left polar opposites. But we were always able to come together and talk. Sometimes we would fight. Sometimes we would have to step aside. But then we would come back and we would still sit together at family dinners and be together and love each other. Just sometimes you'd avoid certain conversations and wait for a different time, you know, to talk about it. But when we get to have you back again, I have to say I'm very disappointed. That was a stupid thing. Stupid thing you did. You hurt our family. But I want you to know, when you get out, I'm going to hug you and hold you because you're still part of our family. We love you very much. So my Americans out there, men, women, children, non-binary, you are loved. You mess up because you feel hurt. You do stupid things. You say stupid things. It's okay. We make mistakes. We disagree. But we can always come back to center and talk about it. We can. We can do this. Trevor Noah, I love you. ACLU, I love you. Donald Trump, I love you. Sorry, I love you. Everyone out there, weigh in. I appreciate the feedback. If you don't mind, I would like if you could share what I'm trying to say here. You want to share on your social media circuits, feel free. I'm not jazzed about it, but it's worth it. You don't even have to like own it. You can just like throw it like a grenade into like a conversation on Twitter or Facebook or something and just say, how about this shit? And just, you don't even have to say like whether you agree with it or not. Just like throw it in there. And then if they want to come at me, I accept that responsibility. I accept that consequence. And we'll talk about it. I almost kind of think, you know, some people say that Biden doesn't speak enough. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's gone senile. But part of me thinks he's waiting for people like me, people like you who are in the center, who want peace. He's waiting for us to finally speak up. Because we need to. Because we need more love to interject itself in everything in this country. Because there is one thing that beats hate. And it beats hate throughout history. And it will continue to beat out hate. And that is love. Love is stronger than hate. And I mentioned my wee bitch. Take responsibility for what is yours. Your children, raise them right. Your guns, handle them correctly. Be responsible. Your animals, your dogs, my dogs, they go out there and bite somebody. I am responsible. It is on me to make sure that does not happen. I take that responsibility seriously. I do the same for my children. I do the same for myself. We all need to do this. I love you. Thank you for your time.